It's Madden NFL 23. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. And it comes your way next.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie cornerback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Play action. Stroud now sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
5 yards, and that means they come up short, as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. Oh, he shifts past him. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this is most definitely the guy you want running the football when you need the tough yards on 3rd down. And he moves the chains and then some as he shakes off that first contact. And as they said in the 70s, he just keeps right on trucking.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. On first down, Drake. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 34. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. This would be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Another run here with Dobbins. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the Stix. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down, Jackson. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
First and goal from the 3. They'll run with Dobbins. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. On second and goal, here's the option. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And now can they reverse the trend on third and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Throwing is Jackson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. Shifts by him. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. 1st down, they go right back to Pierce. We'll get this up to about the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A second down throw now from Stroud. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Stroud. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Sacked on the corner blitz by Marlon Humphrey. How about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they caught the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz and change the blocking assignments. He comes through and puts him on the ground.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Stroud here on 3rd and long. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt, and that is no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Second and 16. Play action. Now Jackson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Stroud to throw it. Flushed out right. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Rough incompletions on first and second down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Going for it with Pierce. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He finds his man, complete. That's Flowers. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And this is going to be intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it up. And the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal and you throw the pick, not good at all.
Now here's Stroud. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
If anyone ever has any doubt that tight ends are primary targets nowadays, just watch this play. He's back in the pocket, finds his guy, and they get a nice gain out of it.
Yeah, simple little completion out into the flat. Stroud now on 2nd down. Now he'll let it go deep right side. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Houston. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this 3rd quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On 3rd down, Jackson. This goes out wide for Drake. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run the option left. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Jackson's thrown into the hands of Andrews. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Play action. It's Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Up the middle they go with Drake. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's a give to Dobbins running right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and that's a nice job to hold them just a couple and force a third down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 54 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't draw many like that one. Second down.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
We're in Baltimore. Third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Stroud sets up the play action. Rolling to his right. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it, I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the first down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some contact to keep the play moving.
That's right.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Pierce takes it straight ahead. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Another carry for Pierce. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Pierce. And they'll work this down inside the 30. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Stroud on third down now. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, this from 46. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell them to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
These guys certainly not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save? That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it? And I feel awful for the offensive tackle because we always talk about the athleticism of that guy who just beat him. Well, you have to be athletic to try and block that guy. Just in this case, the defense won.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They go play action now. Jackson. And he's got his man in stride. Complete.
Gotta love a guy who'll stand in there and deliver. No matter what the pressure, waits for the route to come open, hangs in there, and completes the pass.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on third. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Texans will take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Oh, he still brings it in off the tip here on the deep shot. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. 67 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll go with the option, coming right. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
You know, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Third down, trying to get a little bit closer. From here, the field goal would be 55 yards. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. They'll go back to Edwards on first down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Partner, you get about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Tucker's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. So now the Texans down 13-10, 34 seconds to go. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Stroud. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 8, and defensively they'll say you can have that. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Stroud. This is caught. It's Woods. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.